Robert Wright, number 28 on the SCG Tour against Adam Bowman. Both these players 6-1. We'll see who won the die roll, and we will begin things in just a moment as they do shake hands. Good sportsmanship. And Robert's going to start off with an Urza's Tower and a Chromatic Star. For Adam, a Sliver Hive and an Aether Vial.
The terms of engagement already on the table on turn 1. Everyone knows what's up.
That's right.
Love it.
See if you can keep up with what I'm doing. Robert is going to activate his Chromatic Star. Draw a card. Got a little mana floating. It's a power plant. It's a Sylvan Scrying, making Tron look easy. There's Nurse's Mind.
That's game. I guess we had to see if Robert has one of his payoff cards first. Can't quite call it just yet.
We can't play the turns out. Here's a Verdant Catacombs. You saw the Aether Vial go up to 1.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's Gale Rider territory.
oh yeah, there's some other fun ones there. Overgrown Tomb, the land found from the Verdant Catacombs. Adam has I believe, a Diffusion Sliver.
Yeah, that's I believe gives Frost Titan ability to your team.
Yeah, we'll take a look. We're going to bring up a lot of slivers here over the course of this match. And I believe that old Diffusion Sliver. There it is. Not a great payoff there from Robert Wright. Just a Chromatic Sphere. Draw a card. Another Sphere.
Well, most of the goods he has in this matchup are 8 mana.
Yeah.
It's either Ugin or Oblivion Stone and Activate. So not surprising he doesn't have a whole lot to do for 7. Most of what he's building towards is in the 8 mana spot.
Another Sphere with the mana floating. Looks like Robert's going to cash this in. Time to draw a card. Just needs to figure out what color he wants. And he will draw another copy of Oblivion Stone, and there is a stone. That makes it really hard to win.
Yeah.
Vial up to 2. See what we got here from Bowman. Remember, when we were in Cincinnati last year, he made the top 8, got knocked out by Todd Anderson.
Yes.
And he also beat a lot of really good people along the way.
Bowman had some great matches on camera. When decks like this appear, obviously we have a little bit of fun with it in the booth. But Bowman had a very good performance last time, and he's 6-1 right now.
Yep. That's a World Breaker. It's a good Magic card. Going to try to take care of Aether Vial with the cash trigger.
This is a lot.
Yep. Yeah. Going to activate Vial, will Adam. Another Diffusion Sliver. Not the biggest card we've ever seen. Now we're going to head back Adam's way. He'll draw a card.
And World Breaker has reach, so not even Gale Rider Sliver gets him out of this jam.
My favorite thing is learning that World Breaker has reach. I had to learn the hard way.
Everyone does once.
Yeah. It's got so much text on it that you forget it's 5/7 that can block flyers, which actually makes sense because it's enormous. But yeah, it's eaten one of my flying creatures before.
Yeah, happens to everyone once.
Yeah. Plus, just kind of tagged in there. Mm-hmm. Line number 3.
Yeah, of 4 in between 2 fairly awkward powers.
Just hiding out. Let's see what this is. A Sedge Sliver.
Okay.
A regeneration strategy.
All right, well.
Diffusion. Oh, no. Nope, down. I guess, look, if he wants to push through damage, that's understandable.
I'm trying to think of the most charitable way to put this. I don't feel like Bowman's decisions matter a whole lot from this point going forward.
It's because Tron's doing its thing.
Yeah, there's just not a whole lot to be done here. We're going to see the manner in which Wright wants to go about winning this game, which will almost certainly be comical. But that's where we're at.
There's a Ghost Quarter. There's a Worm Coil Engine. Nobody said it was going to be easy. You're just going to pass the turn back.
Nobody said it was going to be this hard.
Yeah. Sliver Hive. That's land number 5. This Mana Weft Sliver, perhaps? Yes.
So Bowman can kind of hang back here for a little bit. He's got access to a lot of regeneration with Sedge Sliver plus Mana Weft Sliver. Unfortunately, eventually Wright goes over the top with exiling effects.
Yeah. There's a Spell Skite. Pass the turn back. Wright playing rather I suppose, what's the word I want to use? Cautious? Not getting too aggressive here?
No rush. He's got Ulamog in hand, too, so there's no reason to try to do anything too rash.
Well,
if he
it's a
just
blur.
hang backs, blocks, builds up his Oblivion Stone.
There's a tower. There's an Ulamog. Now, how does this interact with Diffusion Sliver? It's to pay 2, right?
Well, let's get old Diffusion Sliver up on the screen, or alternatively, we start blowing up some lands.
Well, that's Dark Heart Sliver. That's not old Diffusion Sliver. See if
Although
we can
Dark
find
Heart
Diffusion.
Sliver is also in the deck.
Becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls. Okay.
The other problem here is that
Oh, there's only one?
there's several.
Okay.
Wright also gets to start going beatdowns here with the Ulamog.
That's
That wins the game pretty quickly.
That's an issue. That's an issue. Not a lot that Adam can do about that.
And the Oblivion Stone can at the minimum be used to tap down Bowman's team once.
Yep. Let's see what's next here for Adam. I do like the combo between Sedge Sliver and Blur Sliver.
There's some nice interactions that
Yeah.
go on in this deck. Get some of the pieces together.
Let's see what this one's going to be. It's like all the Slivers have haste, and then they get to tap for mana because of Mana Weapon, and then they can regenerate themselves. So now there's Sinew Sliver. That's the +1/+1 Sliver. That's a Ghost Quarter. It's going to go after Overgrown Tomb. Assuming no basics, A. Wrong. A Swamp and a Forest in the deck for Adam Bowman. Going to get a basic Forest.
Yeah, Sedge Sliver plus Sinew Sliver. Excuse me, Sedge Sliver plus Mana West Sliver plus Blur Sliver means you're very good at blocking. Very hard to attack on the ground. Unfortunately, it's not exactly what the game's about here.
Here comes Ulamog. It looks like 20 cards are going to be exiled. So Adam's going to lose a bunch of cards here, obviously. He's doing a face-up, so Robert can see exactly what's in his deck. And it's a bunch of slivers and lands and collected companies. So
Shocker.
yeah. Could be anything. You do have to wonder when Adam decides I'm just going to concede this game to conceal information. If he's even willing to do that.
Well, hypothetically, he's still, Gale Rider Sliver still gives him some hope here.
All right.
There's only one reach creature in play. Wright's at 17. The problem is that the Oblivion Stone colds that combat, and then
He
now
just dies on the swing
Right.
back, yeah. I guess if you're Adam, you make him do those things. There's a Sanctum of Ugin. A bunch of mana. Another Ulamog?
yeah, more of those lands.
Yep. Could Robert actually just die if Adam peels Gale Rider Sliver?
Well, he doesn't have access to Oblivion Stone,
Yeah.
and at 17, Sedge Sliver is the largest thing. 2 for. I think he's still okay.
Like Sinew Sliver and Sedge Sliver are pumping everything?
If this was on the radar, though, Wright probably should have sent in the Worm Coil engine. Because you can't block in the event of Gale Rider Sliver, but you could have at least picked up 6 life to give yourself a little bit of a cushion.
Yeah. Man, it's a little risky.
It definitely appears as though the game is closer than maybe it should be.
Yes, yes it is. Either way, Robert Wright's going to win game number 1 here over Adam Bowman. Green Red Tron is up a game here over Sliver. So, to the sideboards we are going to go, and we will take a look and see what each player does have in the sideboard. I'm going to be very excited to start with Adam Bowman and his sideboard because there's a lot of slivers in it.
Yeah, it's a pretty sliver-dense sideboard,
All right,
as you
so
can imagine.
got a Screeching Sliver,
Sure.
a Cautery Sliver. Do you know what Cautery Sliver is?
I imagine it as some sort of life gain or regeneration style effect.
Incorrect. Red-White.
Double
The
strike?
Goblin Legionnaire Sliver.
Goblin Legionnaire Sliver.
Like you sack a sliver and you deal 1 to them, or you can sack a sliver to prevent 1.
So I was right, it had a damage prevention
3
power.
harmonic slivers, 2 frenetic slivers, a telekinetic sliver, a siphon sliver, a gemhide sliver, a sliver hive lord, a homing sliver, 2 warping whales, and a spell skite. Go ahead, Sliver Master. What do you do?
I don't really know what you want me to say here.
Telekinetic's actually probably pretty good.
Yeah, I can see telekinetic and harmonic is artifacts and enchantments, right?
Correct.
Okay, that seems good there here too.
That does a little something there. The rest of these are pretty medium. I guess I don't really like a lot of what else is going on here.
Well, I'm not interested in the spell skite. I'm not really interested in the warping whales, and I think it's inappropriate of me to speculate onto what you're trying to do with all these various slivers in your sideboard.
Sure.
But telekinetic, harmonic, they seem right for the job.
3 Nature's Claims, 3 Relic of Progenitus, 3 Lightning Bolt, 2 Thragtusk, 2 Warping Whales, and hey, 2 Sudden Shocks. Nice.
Bolts and sudden shocks, just more removal, break up the synergies, especially with involving Mana Weft Sliver. You take care of that, you should have enough time to get to your 8 and 10 mana plays.
All right, there are the options there for both players. So we're going to watch Slivers versus Green-Red Tron continue here momentarily. In the meantime, we're going to talk about Regionals, which is taking place a little bit down the road here with Star City Games. We're going to have all of our locations in a little while, but you can go to go.starcitygames.com/regionals for more information. But for now, we can show you the playmat, which is this beautiful image right here. We can show you the Goblin token, which is our good friend Ugh, not again, for the Goblin token.
Well, I don't understand. What is he mad about? He's clearly stealing something. Not again. I'm caught stealing this dragon's egg or whatever.
It's just a bad beat.
Yeah, nothing you can do.
Yeah, it's not again. And now put them all together, and you've got a playmat and you've got a token and some more information. Free and exclusive playmat and token to the first 200 players during our Season 2 Regional Championships, August 6th, 2016. Go to starcitygames.com/regionals for more information as we get ready here for game number 2 between Robert Wright and Adam Bowman. Robert Wright currently up a game, and we can learn a little bit more about him, the member of Team Bolus, a member with Alion Trazi and the rest of a lot of players from the North Carolina area, actually.
Yeah, mid-South player base, mostly out of North Carolina.
You see Robert from Lake Wiley, South Carolina, that is the 22-year-old with 2 open top 8s. A finals loss earlier this year, actually. He's a high school chess club champion. He loves to paint in his spare time, and he is a bagel enthusiast, which, I mean, how much can one really like bagels?
And especially if you're from South Carolina, of all places.
Yeah. How good can bagels really be?
If you're, well, hopefully Robert Wright can make his way up to the Season 2 Invitational in New Jersey.
Yeah.
Get some real bagels.
You got a good bagel joint there?
Got a million.
You never taken me to one.
We can go.
All right. I like a nice Asiago cheese bagel. That's my jam. So if you know a place that's got a good one of those, I'm interested.
We'll take you. Bagelicious in Hillsboro.
Bagelicious is the name?
Mm-hmm.
That's just a good name.
There's one in Raritan, too, which is closer to the New Jersey site than Hillsboro.
Okay.
But they're both within 15, 20 minutes.
All right, I'm down. You've also had a lot of claims about how good the Italian food there is in New Jersey, and I've never had any yet. And I love pasta. You have to take me. I love pasta. So that's on you. 8th Revival to start here from Adam Bowman. A Forest and Ancient Stirrings here from Wright. He'll take a look at the top 5. There's I think there's his power plant. Got to check the hand real quick, though. There's power plant. Vials up to 1. Time for Bowman to draw. A Mutavault, and now a Predatory Sliver. So all the slivers are going to get +1/+1 now. So that's a 2/2. Mutavault would be a 3/3. Power plant's a land. Now here is Sylvan Scrying. So this will allow Wright to search up another Tron piece, presumably. If he wants red mana, he can search for Grove, and it looks like he does. So I would not feel great if I were Adam, as he's going to put a Gale Rider Sliver on the battlefield.
Yeah, if Wright's saying here, I don't need to assemble Tron as fast as possible, probably indicates the hand with, Pyroclasm, Fire Spout type effects. Though, it's possible Bowman can play over the top of that if he has enough Predatory Sliver type effects to get his team large enough.
Sliver Hive. Activate Mutavault. Here come the beatdowns. This is an attack for 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wright going to fall down to 13. And now pass the turn back. Now, if the turn here is Fire Spout, I think that Adam can actually rebuild pretty well here. So there is Fire Spout. Actually, that depends on, I wonder what color he picked. Oh, never mind, he's playing green.
Yeah, he has red and green.
Yeah, he's red and green, never mind. Fire Spout is actually weirdly worded. Where I was like, I wonder if he's paying green or red because the creatures are flying, but he's got red and green. So Mana of Sliver is going to be vialed in. A vial's going to go up to 3, it looks like, and it will. Sedge Sliver in hand here for Bowman, and he does have a Verdant Catacombs too, so he can search up a swamp.
Get the combo into play.
This is the combo, a Sedge Sliver and a swamp?
Yep.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
I mentioned it as a combo. I mentioned it as a combo because it's not trivial for Bowman to find a swamp.
That's true. That's true. There's an Overgrown Tomb.
This card inspired, of course, by Alva's own Sedge Troll.
Yes. You know where you can buy that?
StarCityGames.com.
That's right.
Go.StarCityGames.com. Go buy a Sedge Troll right now. Womp.
Look at that thing.
This was way above the curve back in the day.
Here's a Blur Sliver. Beatdowns. In there for 3. Pass the turn back. I believe Adam's last card is Sludge Sliver. It's all blurred.
And you saw Wright pick up a Thragtusk. I wasn't sure if he was going to board that in, but makes some sense here if he's de-emphasizing Tron a little bit to get his red and green mana online for various sweepers. Thragtusk is a solid mid-range play. The issue I have with Thragtusk in the matchup is if Bowman's doing this thing, he can very easily overpower or ignore Thragtusk. But if you're backing it up with enough removal and sweepers, you can hopefully get to the finish line.
Power plants into a Chromatic Star, and Wright will pass the turn back. Here's an activation. Yep, there's Sedge Sliver. Yep, he can take care of Mana Weft with Sudden Shock. It's a 2/2.
But he can't take care of the Blur Sliver. Now,
that's
a 3/3, and so Bowman's drawing very live here.
Yeah, basically any sliver is probably game over.
Collected Company.
Yep.
He's got a Mutavault in play too. I mean, he needs very little here.
He unfortunately drew Cavernous Souls, but he can fire up Mutavault and come in here for 9.
I mean, this is still possibly allowing Bowman to ignore a Thragtusk.
Yep. Wright's going to fall down to 1.
Even with a relatively innocent board.
And there's no Tron online next turn for Robert. Can't happen. So you see the life totals here, 18-1 in favor of Adam Bowman. Tower of the draw. And if Robert Wright does tap out here for a Thragtusk, he goes up to 6. And getting 6 damage through is very easy.
Yeah, I mean, he's got 3 different 3-power creatures. Mm-hmm. It's not good enough. I think Wright knows it and needs to find something else.
Yeah, he'll draw a card. There's Thragtusk. Up to 6. And Bowman will draw. I think he may have picked up a Harmonic Sliver, which he could haste that onto the battlefield if he'd like because of Blur Sliver and Aether Vial. But I think we're staring at lethal here.
Yeah, Bowman.
Yeah, Harmonic will come in. It does destroy an artifact. So he's got to kill his own Vial. But I think that's not the end of the world because he's attacking for lethal.
Yeah, you can see Bowman's in that spot where he's sort of, do I want to be safe and make sure, or do I want to conceal the Harmonic Sliver that's in my deck?
Yeah.
Decided to go with just make sure, but he didn't need it. If Wright had nothing to cast there, he didn't need it. He had 3 different 3-power attackers, but just want to make sure.
Adam Bowman going to win game number 2 here over Robert Wright. Slivers, green, red, Tron, all tied up. As you see the sideboards here for both players, once again, Robert Wright will be on the play. Now, you saw Robert Wright's best draw in game 1. A lot worse of a draw there in game 2.
And if I'm in Wright's spot here, I am not looking to muck around with the middle with cards like Thragtusk.
No, me either.
I like having the cheap removal. I'm down with every copy of Lightning Bolt and Sunshock you want to get your hands on, bring them all in. But I still think Wright's best path in the matchup is assemble Tron and just punish Bowman with 8 and 10 mana plays. As we saw there, Bowman didn't even have that advanced of a board and was still able to beat Thragtusk fairly easily. He had a bunch of 3-power regenerators. Thragtusk was nonsense there. So I think Wright needs to focus on cheap removal, get to Tron, start doing busted stuff. I think that has to be his path here.
Well, these players will shuffle up, get ready here for game number 3. Robert will be on the play, of course, with his Tron deck, given the loss in the last game. So we're going to very quickly talk about the StarCityGames.com YouTube page, where we've got over 90,000 subscribers. You can go back and watch the replay of this match and a whole bunch more.
A lot of great content over at youtube.com/StarCityGames. A lot of archives, things like the Versus Series archives, Premium archives, SCG Tour archives, and content that's exclusive to the YouTube page, such as unboxings. Again, you can become a subscriber for free today over at youtube.com/StarCityGames and get notified when new content is uploaded to the page.
Almost 100,000 subscribers over there. Pretty excited about that.
Getting close.
I know. For Bowman and Wright, off to great starts. They're 6-1 here this weekend. So fantastic starts for them. Only one of them is going to walk out here with a W, so someone will be 7-1 at the conclusion of this. And again, for Adam Bowman, we saw him in Cincinnati last year. He's part of a best of SCG Live moment, and his Slivers deck is pretty sweet. And we haven't even seen any of his busted draws.
What's really fun about his deck is, you know, the Slivers, setting aside the Slivers that pump your team, the Slivers are all kind of on diminishing returns. You sort of want just the one Gale Rider. You don't really want the second copy of Necrotic Sliver. Your ideal scenario involves one of a variety of effects. And so the deck list naturally gravitates to a bunch of 1 and 2 ofs in the main deck because of that diminishing return issue. So the collected companies especially can yield some really odd collections of Slivers. And the draws from game to game are very different as well.
Both these players will take a look at the opener. Robert Wright on the play this game. He'll keep, as will Adam. Game number 3 underway. It's Nurse's Mine and a Chromatic Sphere. Mutavault into Vial again. So 3 for 3 on Vial starts here for Adam. That's important in this matchup, I'd say.
Mutavault's also a big deal here for Bowman, as that card is not the easiest threat for Tron to answer.
An Ancient Stirring is here for Robert. He misses a land, just going to take a Chromatic Star, and that's a big deal as Vial's going to tick up to 1. Sliver Hive into Sinew Sliver. Pass the turn back, will Bowman over to Wright. Just a star, passing the turn back. Gale Rider Sliver onto the battlefield. It's a 2-2 along with the Sinew Sliver right now.
And this is the reason that I'm critical of Thragtusk in this matchup. Thragtusk is already a dead card. Or it's basically just 5 mana gain, 5 life.
Well, you saw Robert cast it last game, right?
Yeah.
He just cast it and then he just died.
Exactly.
You know, that's just, I think, very likely to happen.
I think you're not giving this deck enough respect for what happens when it gets a bunch of different pieces into play if you think like Thragtusk is going to appreciably change the outcome of a game where he's got a board.
A Sedge Sliver, a Sinew Sliver, we have Enormous Slivers, and now Fire Spout's off the table.
Yep.
And this game's basically over, right? It's lethal next turn. There isn't a card in Magic, in Modern, that can get him out of this. Forest is the draw. Here's an Ancient Stirring, so unless I'm mistaken.
I don't know if there's a card, but it's definitely not in Bowman's Wright's deck.
Yeah. He would need something like a Rending Volley off of the star. I mean, he can't even bolt anything, right?
He can bolt nothing. Everything has at least 4 toughness.
At least 4 toughness. Well, this is one of those explosive draws we were talking about. Yeah, Bolt Sinew Sliver. No, that resolves.
Yep.
It doesn't kill it. That's a legal target. And Adam Bowman is going to win this match over Robert Wright, 2-1. Slivers is at it again here on the SCG Tour, 7-1.
And that's, you know, it's easy to look at game 3 there and say that Wright stalled on 1 land and just died. I think that he overestimated the matchup and how good just having a hand with 1 piece of spot removal would be here.